You have been fed a massive lie regarding the true historical origins of money. The common myth claims that ancient people simply traded chickens for bread in local markets. Yet anthropologists have searched for centuries and never discovered a single society that operated this way. A pure barter economy has never actually existed in the real history of mankind. Long before the advent of stamped coins or rare seashells, money was born from something darker. It emerged directly from debt and the abstract memory of who owed what to whom. Ancient Mesopotamian temples were already recording these exact debts on tablets of pure silver. Money was engineered for one specific purpose: to keep score of the global economic game. And whenever you gain the exclusive power to keep score, you can rig the entire game. As ancient cities expanded, the human brain could no longer track so many complex memories. Physical tokens eventually took over, ranging from giant limestone wheels to scarce ocean shells. These primitive shells maintained their value for one obvious reason: they were exceptionally scarce. But artificial scarcity is highly fragile, and foreign invaders quickly weaponized supply to crash local economies. The most profound transformation in human history occurred just over 2,500 years ago. The ancient kingdom of Lydia began melting gold and silver to forge the world's very first coins. The king's official seal was stamped into the metal, guaranteeing its precise weight by royal decree. In that definitive moment, financial currency and raw political power permanently fused into one entity. The Roman Empire later transformed this temptation to manipulate currency into an exact, calculated science. They secretly began diluting the empire's pure silver coins with cheap, worthless base copper. Emperors collected high taxes, corrupted the coinage, and generated massive state profits out of thin air. As a direct result, the Roman currency lost 95% of its actual purchasing power. Citizens eventually exposed the hidden fraud, causing the economy to collapse long before the empire fell. While Rome was physically debasing coins, ancient China engineered the first official paper currency. Hauling pounds of heavy copper was exhausting, so clever merchants utilized lightweight paper receipts instead. Eventually, Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan banned precious metals entirely and mandated the use of printed paper. Rulers genuinely believed they had discovered the ultimate alchemy, creating infinite wealth from absolute nothingness. However, they printed so aggressively that the fiat currency became completely worthless by the next dynasty. The Italian Renaissance later transformed stagnant wealth into a vibrant, highly sophisticated invisible network. The exceptionally powerful Medici Bank accumulated vast fortunes using nothing but paper bills of exchange. At the time, the church strictly prohibited charging interest on loans, calling it a deadly sin. The Medici cleverly disguised their interest by manipulating the volatile exchange rates between distant foreign currencies. Money officially ceased to be a physical metal, evolving into a completely abstract financial flow. And the more invisible money becomes, the easier it is for elites to siphon it away. To halt this systemic government fraud, nations later established the international gold standard. Every single printed paper banknote represented a legal promise, redeemable for physical precious metal. But when global war erupted, desperate governments instantly tore up their agreements to print more cash. A devastated Germany printed paper marks day and night until the economy completely imploded. By 1923, desperate citizens were burning massive stacks of currency just to stay warm. The printed paper money had actually become significantly cheaper than buying ordinary firewood. In 1944, the entire landscape of global financial dominance completely shifted hands. The United States dollar was anchored to gold, solidifying its place as the center of the world. However, relentless military spending over the next decades rapidly drained America's golden vaults. By 1971, President Richard Nixon shattered that final golden link once and for all. For the first time in human history, global currency lacked any physical commodity backing whatsoever. Money became purely fiat, existing solely because a centralized government commands that it has value. The paper bill inside your wallet holds worth only because society collectively agrees to pretend it does. Completely unshackled from physical limits, authorities can now manufacture trillions with a single digital click. Consequently, the US dollar has quietly lost over 80% of its real purchasing power. Ancient kings used to call this dilution. Modern governments simply brand it as monetary policy. In 2008, reckless banking greed completely imploded the foundations of the global economy. Massive financial institutions were bailed out with trillions generated instantly onto digital computer screens. Wall Street executives walked away wealthy, while everyday citizens paid the price by losing their jobs. At the absolute peak of that catastrophic crisis, an anonymous shadow named Satoshi Nakamoto acted. He released the open-source blueprint for Bitcoin, a digital currency entirely free from central government control. An unchangeable, decentralized ledger secured by thousands of independent computers operating across the globe. Engineered from day one with a strict mathematical limit of exactly 21 million coins. For the first time in centuries, a form of money emerged that power cannot manipulate. Yet the architects of global power never willingly surrender their control over the masses. Central banks are already actively deploying their own fully digital, highly traceable state currencies. Physical cash inherently offers true privacy, but state-controlled digital money monitors your entire life. Your centralized digital wallet could be programmed, instantly frozen, or assigned a strict expiration date. China is already aggressively testing its digital yuan on hundreds of millions of ordinary citizens. Money began as a simple, primitive scoreboard, and the future game is being decided right now. Two opposing forces are colliding: an ownerless open currency versus an all-seeing state surveillance token. This silent mechanism has always quietly dictated exactly who rules over whom in human civilization. When this next inevitable financial paradigm takes over, the ultimate question remains: who holds the keys? Will it be the same centralized ruling class, or will you finally own your destiny?